The phone screen cracks, not from impact, from pressure. Arden Cross tightens his grip until the glass spiderwebs beneath his thumb. Across the mahogany table, 3 investors from Dallas lean forward, their faces pixelated on the video call, mouths moving with numbers he stopped hearing 2 minutes ago. Outside the 84th floor window, snow falls sideways. Wind screams against reinforced glass. The blizzard swallows Manhattan whole, turning the city into a white void. Inside the penthouse, recessed lights hum. Temperature-controlled air whispers through vents. Everything is silent, everything is controlled, except Arden's pulse. He unclenches his jaw, forces his shoulders down. The investors are still talking. Something about quarterly projections, something about the Seattle expansion. He nods, says nothing. His assistant, Marcus, stands near the door, tablet glowing, fingers swiping through alerts Arden will never read. "Hello, my friends. We are here for you. We give you the best. Please kindly tell us where are you watching from, thank you." The call drones on. Arden's gaze drifts to the window again. Somewhere out there, beyond the glass and steel and money, people are freezing. Trains are stuck. Emergency lines are jammed. The storm doesn't care about net worth or corner offices or empire building. It just takes. His phone buzzes. A text from his head of security. "Sir, situation downstairs." Arden ignores it. The investors are waiting for his response. He clears his throat, leans into the camera, and delivers the line they need to hear. Confidence. Certainty. The kind of voice that moves markets. Another buzz. "Sir, it's urgent." He mutes the call, looks at Marcus. "Handle them." Marcus blinks. "Sir? I said handle it." Arden stands, walks to the window, presses his palm against the cold glass. His reflection stares back. Sharp suit, graying temples, eyes that haven't softened in years. The kind of face people trust with millions but never with the truth. His phone rings. Not a text this time. A call. From security. He answers without looking. "This better be..." "Sir." The voice is tight, clipped. "There's a child at the main entrance." Arden freezes. "What?" "A boy. Maybe 5 years old. No adult with him. He's been pounding on the glass for 10 minutes. "Then call someone. Child services. Police. I don't care." "Sir." A pause. "He knows your name." The room tilts. Just slightly. Just enough. Arden turns away from the window. Marcus is watching him now, concerned. The investors are still frozen on the screen, waiting. Arden walks to his desk, taps the intercom. "Put him on camera." "Sir, I don't think..." "Now." A click. The security feed flickers onto the wall-mounted screen. Arden's breath stops. The boy is small, too small. His jacket is thin, soaked through, ice clinging to the fabric. His face is red from cold, streaked with tears. His fists keep hitting the glass over and over, even though no one is coming, even though the world has already ignored him. But it's not the desperation that stops Arden's heart. It's the face, the jawline, the spacing of the eyes, the shape of the mouth. He knows that face, not the boy's, but the woman's. The one he buried 6 years ago in silence and guilt and choices he told himself were necessary. Marielle. The boy looks up at the camera. His lips move. The audio crackles. "Please. Please help. Mama won't wake up." Arden's hand slams onto the desk. Marcus jumps. The investors vanish as Arden cuts the feed with a swipe. His chest tightens. His vision narrows. The boy's words loop in his head, louder than the storm, louder than the money, louder than everything. "Mama won't wake up." He grabs his coat. Marcus steps forward. "Sir, what's..." "Get the car. The roads are..." "I don't care." Arden's voice is ice. "Bring the boy up. Now." Marcus hesitates. "Sir, who is he?" Arden doesn't answer. He's already moving toward the elevator, pulse hammering, hands shaking for the first time in a decade. Because somewhere in the back of his mind, beneath all the money and power and control, a question claws its way to the surface. a question he's been running from for 6 years. A question that just showed up at his door in a threadbare jacket and frozen tears. The elevator doors close. Arden leans against the wall, eyes shut, breathing hard. And for the first time in his life, he doesn't know what comes next. What would you do if your past showed up at your door in the middle of a storm? Ryan's fingers are numb. He can't feel them anymore, can't bend them. They're locked around the edges of his jacket, pulling it tighter, but it doesn't help. The cold pushes through fabric, through skin, into his bones. His teeth chatter so hard his jaw aches. He stops walking, looks up. The buildings here are taller than anything he's ever seen. Glass towers that disappear into the snow. Lights glow from windows so high they look like stars. People live up there. People who never get cold, people who never wait for help that doesn't come. His legs shake, not from cold this time, from walking. He's been walking for hours, or maybe minutes. He can't tell anymore. Time moves differently when you're scared. He shouldn't have left Mama, but Mama wouldn't wake up. He'd shaken her, called her name, pressed his ear to her chest to hear her heartbeat, the way she used to let him do when he was smaller. It was there. Faint. Too slow. Her skin was cold, her lips pale. And when he called 911, the lady on the phone said they'd come. But they didn't. He waited. And waited. And the apartment got colder because the heat barely worked, and Mama kept not waking up. And Ryan didn't know what else to do, so he remembered the card, the one Mama kept in the metal box under the sink, the one she told him about only once, late at night, when she thought he was asleep. If anything ever happens to me, find this man. He'll help. Ryan didn't understand why Mama sounded sad when she said it, but he memorized the name and the address, because Mama never lied. Now he's here. The building in front of him is the tallest one, Vanguard Spire. The letters glow gold above the entrance. Glass doors, warm light inside. A man in a uniform stands behind a desk, looking at screens. Ryan stumbles forward. His legs almost give out. He catches himself on the glass door, presses both hands against it. His breath fogs the surface. The man inside looks up, frowns, walks toward the door but doesn't open it, just stares down at Ryan through the glass. Ryan's throat tightens. He pounds on the door. Please, please, I need help. The man shakes his head, points away, mouths something Ryan can't hear. My Mama won't wake up, Ryan screams. His voice cracks. Tears spill down his frozen cheeks. Please, she told me to find him. She told me he'd help. The man hesitates, leans closer. Who? Ryan pulls the card from his pocket. His fingers barely work. The card is bent, creased, but the name is still there. He presses it against the glass. Arden Cross. The man's face changes. He steps back, grabs a phone, speaks into it fast. Ryan can't hear the words, but he sees the man's eyes flick back to him, then to the card, then to something on the screen. A camera. Ryan looks up, finds the lens. His vision blurs. He doesn't know if they're listening, doesn't know if anyone cares, but he says it anyway, because Mama told him this man would help, because there's no one else. Sir, my mom didn't wake up. His voice is barely a whisper, but the man inside freezes. The phone drops from his hand. He stares at Ryan like he's seen a ghost. Then the locks click. The door swings open. Warm air rushes out. Ryan stumbles inside. His legs give out. He hits the floor, gasping, shaking, crying. The man crouches beside him, wraps a blanket around his shoulders, but Ryan can't stop shaking. Where is she? The man asks. Where's your mom? Home, Ryan chokes out. She won't wake up. I waited. No one came. The man speaks into his radio. Fast, urgent. Ryan doesn't understand the words. His vision swims. The warmth is too much. His body doesn't know what to do with it. Somewhere above, an elevator hums. Somewhere above, footsteps rush. And then a voice. Deep, sharp, familiar in a way Ryan doesn't understand. Where is he? The man points. Ryan looks up. A tall figure steps out of the elevator. Dark coat, gray at the temples, eyes that freeze everything they touch. The man from the card, Arden Cross. He stops when he sees Ryan. His face goes pale. His mouth opens, but no sound comes out. He stares at Ryan like he's staring at something impossible. Then he kneels. Slowly. His hands shake. Who? His voice cracks. Who's your mother? Ryan's lip trembles. He pulls out the card again. Flips it over, shows him the back. Where Mama wrote something a long time ago. Something Ryan never understood until now. You owe me this. Mem. Arden's breath stops. His eyes go wide. He grabs the card, reads it again. His hands are shaking harder now. Marielle, he whispers. Ryan nods, and Arden Cross, the man who owns the sky, drops his head into his hands and doesn't move. Does a mother's secret die with her, or does it live in the eyes of her sound? The elevator doesn't move fast enough. Arden stands in the corner, fists clenched, jaw tight. Across from him, Ryan sits on the floor, blanket wrapped around his shoulders, staring at nothing. The boy's lips are still pale. His hands still tremble. But he's stopped crying. Arden hasn't. Not outwardly, but inside, something is breaking. Something he sealed off years ago. Something he thought would stay buried. Marielle. Her name alone used to make him feel alive. Used to make him believe in things that didn't show up on spreadsheets. Used to make him think he could be more than money and deals and cold calculations. But then she'd asked him to choose her or the empire, and he'd chosen the empire, because at 29 he was building something that would outlast him, something that would prove he mattered, and she wanted him to slow down, to be present, to care about things that couldn't be measured. He told himself she'd understand. She didn't. She left. No note, no call, just gone. And he told himself it was for the best, that she'd moved on, that he'd done the right thing. But now there's a boy with her eyes staring at him from across the elevator. The doors open. Arden steps out first. Marcus is waiting in the penthouse, tablet in hand, face pale. Sir, the board is... Not now. Sir, the investors from Dallas... I said not now. Marcus steps back. His gaze drops to Ryan. The boy is still wrapped in the blanket, bare feet leaving wet prints on the marble floor. Marcus opens his mouth, closes it. Arden gestures to the couch. Ryan walks toward it slowly, like he's afraid to touch anything. He sits on the edge, hands folded in his lap, eyes scanning the room. The floor-to-ceiling windows, the abstract art, the designer furniture. Everything costs more than Ryan has ever seen in his life. Arden crouches in front of him, tries to make his voice soft. It comes out rough. What's your name? Ryan. Ryan. Arden repeats it. Tests it. How old are you? 5. Arden's chest tightens. 5. He does the math in his head. 6 years since Marielle left. Minus 9 months. The timeline fits. The resemblance fits. The card fits. Everything fits except the lie he's been telling himself for 6 years. Ryan. Arden's voice cracks. He clears his throat. Tries again. Tell me what happened. To your mom. Ryan's eyes fill with tears again. He blinks them away. She came home late from work. She always comes home late. But this time she didn't wake me up. She just lay down. And I tried to wake her up for school, but she wouldn't move. Did you call anyone? I called 911. The lady said they'd come, but they didn't. I waited 3 hours. His voice drops. No one came. Arden's hands curl into fists. He stands, walks to the window. His reflection stares back, hollow, guilty. He presses his forehead against the glass. 3 hours. A child waited 3 hours for help that never came. Because the system doesn't care about people like Marielle. People who work overnight shifts cleaning penthouses they'll never live in. People who collapse from exhaustion because there's no safety net, no backup, no second chances. People he employed. Behind him, Ryan speaks again, quieter this time. She told me about you, a long time ago. She said if something ever happened, you'd help. She said you owed her. Arden turns. What else did she say? Ryan shrugs. Nothing. Just that. A lie. Arden knows a lie when he hears one. Marielle would have said more, would have told Ryan something about why she left, why she never came back, why she hid. But the boy doesn't trust him yet, and Arden doesn't blame him. Marcus steps forward. Sir, what do you want me to do? Arden doesn't hesitate. Get Dr. Langston on the line. Tell her it's an emergency. Then send a car to... He looks at Ryan. Where do you live? Ryan gives the address. East Harlem. Arden's stomach twists. That's 40 blocks from here. In this storm, it might as well be another city. Marcus makes the call. Arden kneels in front of Ryan again. I need you to take me to her, right now. Can you do that? Ryan nods. Good. Arden stands, grabs his coat, looks at Marcus. Cancel everything. I don't care who's waiting. I don't care what it costs. Clear my schedule. Marcus stares at him. Sir, the Dallas investors, I don't care. The lights flicker. Once. Twice. Then the room goes dark. Emergency lighting kicks in, casting everything in dim red. The storm has knocked out part of the grid. Ryan gasps, grabs the blanket tighter. Arden moves to the window. The city below is half dark, entire blocks swallowed by the blackout. Somewhere in that darkness, Mariel is lying unconscious, and Arden just wasted 10 minutes. He turns, grabs Ryan's hand. Let's go. They head for the elevator. Marcus follows, phone pressed to his ear, barking ordered. Ryan gasps, grabs the blanket tighter. Arden moves to the window. The city below is half dark, entire blocks swallowed by the blackout. Somewhere in that darkness, Mariel is lying unconscious, and Arden just wasted 10 minutes. He turns, grabs Ryan's hand. Let's go. They head for the elevator. Marcus follows, phone pressed to his ear, barking orders. The elevator doors close. The descent begins. And as the floors tick down, Ryan looks up at Arden and asks the question that stops everything. Are you the man Mama told me about? Arden's throat closes. He stares at the boy, at the eyes that mirror Marielle's, at the face that might mirror his own. He opens his mouth, but the elevator doors open before he can answer. Can the truth survive in silence, or does it scream until someone listens? The storm eats the city whole. Wind slams into the car the moment they step outside. Snow blinds them. The driver opens the back door, and Arden pushes Ryan inside, climbs in after him. The door shuts. Warmth floods the interior, but it doesn't reach Arden's chest. Ryan curls into the corner, blanket still wrapped around him. His eyes are wide, watching, waiting. Arden pulls out his phone, dials Dr. Langston. It rings once, twice. She answers on the third. Arden, what's wrong? I need a medical team. East Harlem. A woman. Unconscious. Possible exhaustion. Possible. He stops, looks at Ryan, lowers his voice. I don't know what else. I'll send someone. Give me the address. He rattles it off, hangs up. The car moves slowly through the storm. Plows have given up. The streets are buried. They pass abandoned taxis. People huddled in doorways. A city that doesn't stop now, stopped. Ryan presses his face against the window. We're close. Arden nods. His hands are shaking again. He balls them into fists, presses them against his knees. The driver glances at him in the rearview mirror but says nothing. They pull up to a building that looks like it's barely standing. Cracked brick, boarded windows, graffiti layered over graffiti. The front door doesn't lock. It swings open when Arden pushes it. Inside, the hallway smells like mold and old cooking oil. The lights flicker. Half of them are out. Ryan leads the way up 3 flights of stairs. His small legs take the steps 2 at a time. Arden follows. His breath comes harder than it should. Not from the climb, from the dread. They stop at a door. 3C. Ryan pushes it open. The apartment is tiny. One room that serves as kitchen, living room, and bedroom. A couch shoved against the wall. A hot plate on a folding table. Clothes drying on a line strung across the window. The heat barely works. Arden can see his breath. And on the couch, under two thin blankets, is Muriel. Arden's knees almost give out. She looks the same. Older, thinner, exhausted in a way that goes deeper than sleep. But the same. Her hair is longer, her face gaunt, her lips cracked and pale. He crosses the room in 3 steps, kneels beside her, presses his fingers to her wrist. Her pulse is there. Faint. Too slow. Muriel. His voice breaks. Muriel, wake up. Nothing. He looks at Ryan. The boy stands in the doorway watching. His face is blank. Like he's used to this. Like he's been here before. How long has she been like this? Since last night. Last night. 12 hours. Maybe more. Arden's chest tightens. He pulls out his phone. Dials Dr. Langston again. Where are you? 10 minutes out. Storm's bad. Hurry. He hangs up. Looks around the apartment. There's a stack of bills on the table. All overdue. Red stamps, final notices. Next to them, a schedule. Muriel's work schedule. She's listed for double shifts. Triple shifts, 7 days a week. No breaks, no time off. Arden picks up one of the bills. Electricity. 3 months overdue. He sets it down. Picks up another. Medical. For Ryan. An ER visit from 6 months ago. Still unpaid. His stomach twists. This is his fault. She left because he chose money over her, and now she's drowning in it. A sound behind him. He turns. Ryan is holding something. A small metal box. He opens it. Inside are more cards, more papers, and at the bottom, a photo. Arden takes it. His hands shake. It's Marielle, younger, smiling. Her hand rests on her stomach. She's pregnant. The photo is dated. 6 years ago. Arden's breath stops. He flips it over. On the back, in Marielle's handwriting, I wish you could see him. He has your eyes. The photo slips from his fingers, lands on the floor. He stares at Ryan, at the boy's face, at the spacing of his eyes, the shape of his mouth, the way he stands with his weight on one leg, just like Arden does when he's nervous. It's not a maybe anymore. It's a fact. Ryan is his son, and he didn't know, because Muriel never told him, because he never asked, because he was too busy building an empire to notice the life he left behind. Footsteps pound up the stairs. The door bursts open. Dr. Langston rushes in, medical bag in hand, 2 paramedics behind her. She takes one look at Muriel and drops to her knees. How long has she been unconscious? 12 hours. Maybe more. Dr. Langston checks her pulse, her breathing, her pupils. She pulls out an IV. Starts prepping it. The paramedics move fast, efficient, professional. Arden steps back. Ryan grabs his hand, holds it tight. Dr. Langston glances at them. Who's the boy? Her son. And you? Arden's throat closes. He looks down at Ryan, at the boy who walked through a blizzard to find him, at the son he didn't know existed. His voice cracks. I'm the man she told him to find. Dr. Langston's eyes narrow. She doesn't ask more, just nods, turns back to Muriel, and Arden stands there, holding Ryan's hand, watching the woman he abandoned fight for her life. Because he chose an empire. And she chose to survive. How many lives does it take to build a fortune? And how many does it cost to keep it? The building feels smaller with people inside it. Paramedics lift Marielle onto a stretcher. She doesn't wake, doesn't move. Her head lolls to one side as they secure the straps. Ryan tries to follow, but one of the paramedics holds up a hand. Sorry, kid. You can't ride in the ambulance. Ryan's face crumples. He looks at Arden. I have to go with her. You will, Arden says. In my car, right behind them. Dr. Langston stands, snaps her gloves off, looks at Arden. She's severely dehydrated, malnourished, exhausted to the point of collapse. If she'd waited another few hours, she doesn't finish, doesn't need to. Arden nods. His throat is too tight to speak. The paramedics carry Marielle out. Arden grabs Ryan's hand again. They follow. Down the stairs. Out into the storm. The ambulance is already running, lights flashing, cutting through the snow. They load Marielle inside. The doors slam shut. Arden and Ryan climb back into the car. The driver pulls out fast, staying close to the ambulance. Ryan presses his face to the window, watching the lights ahead. His breath fogs the glass. "She's going to be okay," Arden says. Ryan doesn't answer. Arden looks at him, at the boy who's lived 5 years without a father, 5 years watching his mother work herself to death, 5 years learning that the world doesn't care about people like them. "I'm sorry," Arden says. Ryan turns. "For what?" "For not being there." Ryan stares at him. His eyes are too old for 5, too knowing. "You didn't know about me." "I should have." "How?" Arden doesn't have an answer, because the truth is worse than the excuse. He should have asked, should have checked, should have cared enough to find out what happened to Marielle after she left. But he didn't, because empires don't build themselves. And now he's sitting in a car with the son he never knew, chasing the woman he never fought for. The hospital appears through the snow. Bellevue. The ambulance pulls into the emergency bay. Paramedics rush Marielle inside. Arden and Ryan follow. The automatic doors slide open. Warmth, noise, chaos. People everywhere. Bleeding, coughing, crying. The storm has filled the ER with casualties. Frostbite, car accidents, heart attacks from shoveling snow. The nurses move fast, triaging, directing, shouting over each other. A nurse stops Arden. "Are you family?" He hesitates, looks at Ryan. "Yes," Arden says. The nurse nods, leads them through the double doors, into a hallway lined with gurneys. Marielle is on one. Dr. Langston is already talking to another doctor. Pointing, explaining. The other doctor nods, makes notes, calls for tests. Ryan pulls free from Arden's hand, runs to Marielle, grabs her hand, presses his face against it. "Mama," he whispers. "Wake up, please." Marielle doesn't move. A nurse crouches beside Ryan. "Hey, sweetheart, we're going to take good care of her, but you need to wait outside, okay?" "No." Ryan's voice is firm. "I'm not leaving." The nurse looks at Arden. Arden nods. "Let him stay." The nurse hesitates, then nods, steps back. Dr. Langston approaches. "We're running tests, blood work, imaging. We'll know more in an hour." "What do you think it is?" "Exhaustion, dehydration, possible organ strain. She's been pushing herself too hard for too long. Her body just gave up." Arden's fists clench. "How long will she be here?" "Depends on what we find. Days, maybe longer. I'll cover it. All of it." Dr. Langston raises an eyebrow. "All of it?" "Yes." She studies him, then nods, walks away. Arden sits on a plastic chair bolted to the wall. Ryan stands beside Marielle's gurney, holding her hand, refusing to let go. A nurse brings him a blanket. He wraps it around himself but doesn't sit. Time moves slow, then fast, then stops altogether. Doctors come and go. Machines beep. Phones ring. Someone screams down the hall. Someone else laughs. Life and death happening side by side. An hour passes, then another. Dr. Langston returns. Her face is unreadable. "She's stable. We're moving her to a room. She'll need monitoring, rest, fluids, but she'll recover." Arden exhales. "Thank you." Dr. Langston doesn't smile. "She's lucky. If she'd waited any longer." She looks at Ryan. "If he hadn't found you, she'd be dead." The words hit like a punch. Arden looks at Ryan, the boy who walked through a storm to save his mother, the boy who found a stranger and begged for help, the boy who shouldn't have had to. Dr. Langston leans closer, lowers her voice. "I need to ask, are you the father?" Arden's jaw tightens. I don't know. You don't know? I didn't know she had a son. Dr. Langston's expression hardens. But you know her. Yes. Then you need to decide, because that boy just asked me if you're his father, and I don't know what to tell him. She walks away before Arden can respond. Ryan looks up. His eyes lock on Arden's, and in the fluorescent light of the ER, surrounded by strangers and machines and chaos, the boy asks the question Arden's been running from since the moment he saw him. Are you my father? Arden opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again, and before he can answer, a nurse rushes over, grabs Ryan's shoulder, says something fast about moving Marielle to a room. Ryan turns, follows, leaves Arden standing alone in the hallway. The question hangs in the air, unanswered. And maybe that's the answer. Can a man who's built everything afford to lose the one thing he never knew he had? The phone won't stop ringing. Arden stares at the screen. 12 missed calls, 8 voicemails, texts flooding in faster than he can read them, his board of directors, his investors, his lawyers, all asking the same question. Where is he? He silences the phone, shoves it in his pocket, looks through the small window in the hospital room door. Marielle is inside, hooked to an IV, monitors beeping. Her chest rises and falls, slow, steady, alive. Ryan sits beside her bed, still holding her hand, still refusing to leave. A hand lands on Arden's shoulder. He turns. Dr. Varela stands behind him. She's younger than Dr. Langston, sharper. Her white coat is wrinkled, coffee stain on the sleeve. She's been working all night, just like everyone else in this place. Mr. Cross. Doctor. We need to talk. Arden follows her down the hall, away from the room, away from Ryan. She stops near a vending machine, crosses her arms, looks him dead in the eye. Your friend in there almost died. I know. Do you? Because exhaustion doesn't just happen. It builds, day after day, shift after shift. Her body was screaming for help and she ignored it. You know why? Arden doesn't answer. Because people like her don't get to rest. They work or they starve. And judging by the bills we found in her bag, she was about 2 weeks from losing her apartment. Arden's jaw tightens. I'll take care of it. Will you? Dr. Varela steps closer. Because I did some digging. Marielle Hale works for one of your properties, has for 5 years, and in that time she's never called in sick. Never taken a vacation, never asked for help. You know what that tells me? That she's strong,